In this course we hope you'll find out what you need to know to assemble furniture legally and to carry out your work as a flatpack assembler in full knowledge of what you're doing. The goals of this course are to help you understand how the British standards affect your work, why you should read the instructions, why all the warnings are there, what must and must not be done, and when not to use your drill driver. We've limited the scope of this course to domestic furniture including children's and nursery furniture. The vast majority of the assembly work you will do will be in a domestic environment, and even if you're assembling display furniture in a shop and many offices as well, the same sort of things are going to apply. Commercial furniture for use in schools, offices, street furniture, pubs, hotels, commercial premises, etc. are manufactured and tested to a different set of British standards because they're being used in a different environment. A full list is available at FIRA, but we're just focusing on the domestic environment because this is where the vast majority of your work will take place. Ultimately, you want happy customers and a good reputation, and this is why you need to be aware of the British standards. You want to build furniture so it's safe to use, and you don't want to be held liable for an accident which you could have easily avoided. And now I'm going to go to the presentation, part 1, to do with the British standards and how they affect your assembly work. British standards in furniture. All furniture sold in the UK should be tested to British standards and only sold in the UK if it has passed the tests. British standards help ensure furniture does not kill or seriously injure people. Each part of each standard has been introduced because people, or very often children, have been killed or seriously injured, and therefore the actual elements and tests that are in these standards are very important. International standards also exist as well as European standards, and these are filtered down into the British standards. So British standards cover everything that is necessary. The format for a British standard is BS, then some numbers, and then the year. With international standards that have been incorporated into the British standards, it starts BS, ISO, then some numbers, and then the year. Similarly, if a European standard has been incorporated, it starts BS, EN, some letters, and then the year. And if both, it's an ISO standard, an international one, and a European one, it starts BS, ISO, EN, then some letters followed by the year. So it's easy to tell where these standards have originated, whether it's an international one, a European one, or a British one. Each British standard is split into two parts, the actual standard itself and the tests that are performed to ensure that it meets the standard. Before testing any flatpack furniture, it must be correctly assembled according to the manufacturer's instructions. And this tells us three things. If the furniture is assembled correctly, it should be safe to use. If it's not assembled correctly, it might not be safe to use, so don't cut corners. You must ensure all the key steps in the manufacturer's instructions are completed if you decide not to follow them and build it in another way. Often you need to do this because it's quicker or more practical, but you need to make sure that every safety feature, is included and you've not missed anything out. So how the British standards are new. Remember, you're effectively the last stage of the manufacturing process, so it's important you get this right. The instructions contain all the information you need, so read them, because you could be liable for any injury caused as a result of incorrectly assembling furniture. Hi, well that's the first bit of the introduction to the British standards and how they impact on what you're doing as an assembler.